we have another study that is reporting some interesting results to the YouTube, Facebook, Google overlords, which I want this information. I'll watch what I need to say. I won't make it Odyssey exclusive because I want this information to be out there to people. There was a study that was done that was peer reviewed that, of course, examined some of the heart issues that we had talked about being a rarity among people that had gotten the shot. Let's talk about this more in detail in terms of what this study discovers here. And Cheryl Atkinson kind of sums up a lot of this. The potentially serious heart disorders of pericarditis, inflammation of the heart surrounding membrane, and myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle are happening after COVID-19 vaccination substantially more often than previously reported. So, yeah, I know y'all remember that we did a video on this, definitely among these young men, young boys who were having some of these issues, and they were deemed as rare, but they may be happening just a little bit more often than what we'd grown to believe or known to believe. That's according to new research led by, and these are the names, Dr. George Diaz, section of Infectious Diseases, Providence Regional Medical Center, Everett. And this is in Everett, Washington. And it's published in the journal. So it's in the JAMA, bro. It's in the Journal of American Medical Association. So if you're going to want to go watch that or go read that, you can go check that out. Diaz and his co-authors reviewed electronic medical hospital records of more than 2 million people who received at least one COVID-19 vaccination. They found 37 cases of vaccine related to pericarditis and 20 cases of vaccine related to myocarditis. That's still rare, but far more than what was expected. Had Centers for Disease Control's numbers from the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System VAERS. So, government agencies don't seem to be as efficient as we like to believe. According to, let me fix this real quick. According to CDC, myocarditis was reported to the VAERS at a rate of about 4.8 cases per million, or less than half per 100,000. So 0.48 per 100,000. The disorder was reportedly lumped in together with pericarditis in the VAERS reporting analyzed by CDC. But the new analysis unearthed a rate of 1.8 per 100,000 for pericarditis and 1 in 100,000 for myocarditis. So a little more. That's a combined rate that's more than 5 times than thought, 2.8 per 100,000 rather than half per 100,000. So I'm gonna be consistent here. You got to understand, yes, it's 5 times more. Now, if the leftist authoritarians will use this number and they will fearmonger when it came to this. But this is about the vaccine, which is supposed to be the end all, and all vaccines are safe for everybody. Therefore, they'll never do that. And I want to be consistent on this. It's because the number's kind of already low that, of course, if it's a little more than that, definitely in terms of a percentage rate, then it's going to be 4 times, 5 times, much like, you can get 1 to 2 and they'll say it's a 50% jump, or something like that. You get what it is that I'm saying. But what they're saying is that it went from, it was initially thought to be a 0.48 per 100,000 and it's 2.8. So it's a little more. Still, they're going to say that it's rare, but it's still a little more than what initially thought. The information seems to confirm what scientists have long said, has been well established. There's a significant underreporting of adverse events reports to the federal VAERS system. Therefore, each report of an illness is presumed to be more prevalent than what's documented on. And this is a difficult thing with this is the new analysis right here, and you can see this is the old one, the previous CDC analysis. And this is the difficulty when conversing about this, because In order for the data, it doesn't matter what subject matter it is, you rely upon that data being accurate. So if we go by data and data alone, we can get ourselves in trouble. This includes me. This includes anybody else. Because we're wrongfully assuming that the data was accurate in the first place that they got and that they analyzed. So if there's a hiccup in that data, and often with this, it's like a collection, right? So we got to make sure that, the hospitals are being accurate, or rather what ends up, in the records, death certificates. We got to make sure that that's an accurate assessment of what actually took place. So when we're doing these large scale studies and trying to take, let's say, X amount of, okay, well, this is the likelihood of this happening versus the likelihood of this not happening. We have to ensure that the data is accurate. This is just yet another example of, okay, well, we know what they said initially. We have reanalyzed it. And it doesn't seem like that was actually the case. And maybe it's just, albeit just a tad, a little worse. So is that within the margin of error? You make that argument. They're going to still report it as a five times as much. But if it's happening here, of course, this has to be happening in other aspects of this virus. But God forbid you question how this data is collected. We've covered here before. Florida motorcycle accidents being recorded as positive deaths, or rather, of COVID-19. The data, we have to understand, has to be legitimate first and foremost when we're collectively looking at it, or looking at it collectively, to be more precise. So when you look at that, it kind of opens this box, Pandora's, if you will. It's like, what else is incorrect? What else has been underreported? What else has been overreported because we misanalyzed the data that was given to us, because the data that was being presented to us was incorrect or under, let's say, not supported. But hey, hospitals, doctors, science, trust it all. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.